Have you ever played a game just for the music? I haven't, but Furi comes close. Released 2016 by the Game Bakers, Furi came out like a silent but deadly.
Welcome to the family, son.
I don't recall seeing any ads for it. Maybe I lived under a rock. When my stone was turned over and I played it, I was blown away. Snappy combat. Beats that bump. And a story that had me feeling all sorts of things.
I have powers. I have a cape. I'm the good guy.
You are a good guy, Hal, but you don't understand. We need to find out why. Hal?
This isn't right.
Indie studios convinced me non-AAA games were worth my time with this experience. I'm going to convince you, too. So come along. I'll start with the... The music in this game got me pumped more than Macho Man before a wrestling match.
I am the queen!
Tracks in Furi are expertly used to set the stage and mood, from snowy mountains to barren desert stretches. Synthetic beats punctuate everything you do, especially the fights. As a fight progresses, the music transforms. The same happens as you approach your next fight. Not always smoothly, but the audio mixing is good enough that the transition is relatively seamless. I don't often hear such synergy between gameplay and music, except from games like Nier Automata, Final Fantasy X, and... Never mind. We've got the musical wizards, Carpenter Brute, Danger, and Wave Shaper to be thankful for. They created original tracks for this game, providing a soundtrack I could never forget. I highly recommend checking out their works outside of Furi, too. While you're jamming, don't forget about the
Game. Play.
I hope you like slow walks. You will walk before fights. You will walk after fights. To be fair, the walks are a much-needed break between fights. 22-year-old me didn't appreciate the downtime, so I hope you will. You'll also be chirped at by our prison break buddy, who, unlike you, doesn't have to walk. Put simply, he provides substance for our otherwise blank slate protagonist. Think of him as our personal WWE announcer, hyping up the coming fight as we step into combat. Speaking of which, I'm about to get a little technical. Each fight starts with somewhat one-sided banter.
Look at me! Don't look so horrified. You're staring at yourself.
If you've played any fighting game before, you'll know what's going on here. If you haven't,
What's wrong with you?
the first fight is a partial tutorial. The squares under the health bar represent lives and/or phases. You can move freely in the initial phase of combat, dashing, parrying, shooting, and slashing. Parrying melee attacks gives you a little health, while parrying projectiles reflects them. Enemies light up when they're about to melee you. That's your cue. A perfect parry results in a cool, animated counterattack that deals a decent chunk of damage. Your enemy may go on the defensive. If they're blocking, you can break through with either charge slashes or pistol shots. As you progress, you'll engage in CQC. Movement is slowed and your gun stowed. Instead of shooting, you can power up for more damage. Chunking your jailer harder than an American tax filing fee does your wallet. Once the enemy is really cheeked up, they'll put on a personal light show. Sometimes playing the floor is lava. Among that beautiful rainbow of death are green orbs that can be shot to reveal a heal pickup. I recommend shooting orbs to experiment and see what effects you have, or just play ping pong. Like ping pong, fights are a mix of fast-paced action that demand quick reflexes and attention to detail. Your skill as a player will translate to satisfying interactions. You will get sat down a few times, hell, maybe even a lot of times. But as long as you learn from your mistakes, you'll come out on top. But just who are you? Well, play and find out. To me, Furi is a game worth playing for its challenging arcade-like combat and awesome music alone. A handful of tracks live in my brain rent-free, reminding me of the pure dopamine rush that is mastering this game. With all that in mind, I hope you'll pick this up, if only to immerse yourself in a synthetic soundscape. But if difficulty is a big concern for you, just become invincible. What are you waiting for?
Play the game.
Go to my Best Buy, right?
Play the game.